Monday. How are you all? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It is very sunny here right now. We're having like our summer week this week. School's not out yet, but we normally get 1 week in this time of year where it gets super hot and sunny, and it's this week. Just be prepared for any British friends. We're all going to be hot and grumpy because we're not cut out for this. But anyway, that's the state of things here. Let's have a look at what we've made with the June supplies so far and what I'm going to make today. I've got a starting point in mind, but let's have a look at what we've done so far. So hello to everybody. We have got Debbie, Belinda, Kathy, Liz, Shell, Connie, Lisa, Annalise, Anna, April, Elaine, another Anna, Jenna, Krista, sorry, I can read, Rita, April, Sarah, Mrs. 2000, Rebecca, Amy, Tiffany, Beatrix, Lizzie, Marvine, and Leisha all here. So hello from all over the world. We've got quite a few countries represented there. So this is what we've been making so far with the June supplies, which includes lots of my Live the Dream collection. So hello, hello, hello. And this was a starting point that we started the month with, which included this bit around here and then a title block coming down here. And then we added 4 3x4 photos to that one. This is actually what we made on Friday to go alongside it. It goes over here. So this one with one big 6x8 photo, but to do 2 coordinating single page spreads that then work as a double page, but they're not designed as a double page. That's kind of my preference with double pages. So there we go. Then we have also done 2 4x6 on a block with a bunch of die cuts and cut aparts, and 3 3x4s on a row here, but with this diagonal kind of composition going across there. And that is what we have done so far. Also, we have had some discussion here and there in the chat about ephemera. So I actually went and got the stuff that's going to go into the album from this trip. So here's what we've got. I actually have 2 of these, but I'll just put one in, I suppose. A playbill from a show we went to see at Community Theater. And then all of the rest of this is probably Marceline. So we have this map that they gave us to show our way around. So all the shops and restaurants downtown on that side. And then this is more Walt-centric. And we basically did everything on this list. We have some postcards. One about the railroad connection. Why are there trains all over Marceline? Like a replica of an old piece of old bit of evidence of their main street that I thought would be nice against our own picture of a modern main street there. They have tried to keep it as similar to this as possible, but obviously the cars and the people look very different. A little map, which they also gave us as this was if you went to the museum and picked up business cards, they had little vouchers for free things. So we paid for these at the gift shop, but then we got this magnet free. So that's going on my fridge. So it's the same artwork. It's super cute. Does it tell us who did this art? It doesn't. I wish it told us who did the artwork. I might have to do some research to see if I can find out. Then this from the museum, which was one of those things where it's a trail and things are hidden in the exhibits for kids to find. And these tiny little animals are scattered around the entire museum in the exhibits. And then you find out, and you can tell the Disney fans from the not if you can figure out why it would spell out Mortimer. And he knew, which was very cute, because they're ready to explain to the kids why it says Mortimer, and he could explain it to them. So that was funny. So all of this is from Marceline. And then this was from the cool literary museum. This was their little bookshop that he bought a book in the gift shop and a little pin. The pin's not going to go in the album because that's going to go on his backpack. I just need to get him a locking pin back for that one. And this, they put this inside, like as a leaflet. So he said, keep that and put it in the scrapbook. So that's what we have. This is probably the most difficult because hello, neon, but that's all right. We can cope. So we might put something from this in today. We might not. But I feel like if I show it all to you now, I'm being made accountable to make sure I keep my plan to get it in the album. Fair enough? All right, so what we are going to do today, first I'm going to move the thing that just got stuck to my feet. Why is that even here? Okay. We've got a starting point that I'm going to use with 2 small photos, but you'll see there's lots of flexibility. And we have the following left as full sheets of paper. Let's look. We've got a blue, cream and brown, pink, another cream and brown. Haven't cut into this one. Oh, I've done one cut apart from that one. Haven't done the clouds yet, or the wood grain. The other wood grain. Gummy bears, high tops, flowers, beads. That's everything that I haven't cut into. Cool. Everything else is smaller pieces. All right. Let me do my speech, and then I'll take you through this starting point, and then we're going to put photos on it after that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's go. Hello, my name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it's my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live and chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, thinking about coming back to craft, all of it. You are super welcome here, and the links you need are probably in the description box. So ask if you don't see them there. But anything like this month's supplies, that's the June list that's linked in the box. Next month's is already there in July, and the last video I kind of flipped through all of that. So if you want to see what we're using next month, that's already up on the playlist from last Friday's video. You can find where I teach my classes, which is shimelle.com. You can find my Instagram, my Facebook group, and all sorts of things like that. Okay? You can also find affiliate links to my collections. I have Live the Dream is the brand new one. Behind that was Reasons to Smile and Main Character Energy. All of those are still currently available in bits and pieces. Live the Dream is the most recent. And so you can find my products through there. And I really, really thank you for ordering through my links when you are shopping. I appreciate it. It makes all this possible. Thanks so much. Let's scrapbook. Boop. All right. Sophia's just here for jazz hands. Let's do it. Right, I've got a little set of notes here for my starting point today. And it's got kind of big layers. I'm actually thinking that the cream actually works today. So we need a paper that's going to be right at the back today. You're only going to see it around the edges. So that works fine for me because I mostly like the grids in this pack the best, but if I just want a light edge to the outside, this is perfect. So I don't need to, because I don't do a lot of brown, but I got this. Okay, so then we're going to take one of the bright colors and cut it down to just leave an outside frame, yeah? So let us see what that might be. And you could even do it in brown, but I like color, so I'm not planning to do it in brown. Right, I want to use the clouds with outdoor photos, and these are indoor photos, so I'm not going to the clouds just yet. He's wearing red. I could do that one. And I know I want some pieces from here, so let me look. Because I want to use these clouds, and that's not going to work. I don't have enough contrast there. Maybe we put the blue in here. Dun, dun, dun. How many clouds do I have? I thought I had at least 2. Yeah. Oh, and I have 2 cameras. Okay. All right. Definitely want to use those. So we will see. I like that mix of the grids. Let's just go with it. So we have got And just start by taking like 3/4 of an inch, 2 centimeters. And take 2 centimeters off each side. And we will go from there. Let's see, that's probably enough. Definitely enough. Does not, it could even be just take 1/2 inch and have a 1/4 inch border, but I'm going to do that. Right, lovely. Let's ink everything here. Kathy said, I saw a poster of the show WB was in last night and the underground thought it was over. No, nothing that he's been in has closed, actually. So he is coming to the end of his contract on Starlight Express, but it's still booking past when his contract ends. And Les Mis, of course, continues. They've just announced both their New Year's cast, because their cast changes in July this year, and also the special 40th anniversary cast who are there just for a short time in October when Les Mis turns 40. So yeah, everything that he's been in is still running. But yeah, he's got just a handful of shows left at Starlight Express before he takes his final bow as control. Yeah. I just want to make sure I had the right color. I do. It's fine. Oh, Nikki says, how are rehearsals for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory coming along? Well, rehearsals for Wonka Jr. They're fine. They're very chill, and he comes home with, you will not believe what they've done today, because it's very, let's have 90 children sing along, but he's cool. We did some discussion of costuming at the weekend, and he just has to get his notes approved by the student in charge of costumes, because he went to see them and they had a link to buy a packaged costume off Amazon. And WB's face just dropped and was like, but what if I can make it at home? Am I allowed to make it at home? And the kid went, you have a sewing machine? And WB's like, well, yeah. And like, oh, you can do whatever you want then. So he has to just take a plan in and get it signed off, and then it's all good. Teacups Mama says, can you see everything in Marceline in one day? Oh, yes, you can definitely do it in one day. Yeah, we drove 2.5 hours to get there, did the town 2.5 hours back, and still went out to dinner. We weren't even out late. Yeah, it's all good. All right, so we got this to start. Yes. Anna got out of control and got so much living the dream that she drove the other day 3 hours out of the way, girl, to take pics at a churro shop so that she can use more papers, but she has no regrets. And thank you, Lisa, for the wardrobe love. Yeah, Lost Boys today. Yeah. All right. Oh, that's funny. It's 2 different Lisas who were talking about the Disney clothes. Yeah, it's the Lost Boys. So Kathy is out to the Tower of London today. Yay! Amazing. Go, make sure you see the baby ravens. Brand new baby ravens are at the tower, and this is not me just being cute about birds, but it is kind of me being cute about birds. The ravens don't change very often. Like, they have a set and they live out their whole lives at the tower. So a couple of them were very old, and so when there were too few ravens, they got baby ravens, and they've only been there maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and they were like hand taken care of by one of the tower guards until they could be put in with the others, and I'm so excited to go see them. So please, while you're there today, do check out the new raven residence. Yay. I get very excited about tower ravens. Actually, trivia, my first ever scrapbook page that was published, it was about the ravens. There we go. It's in an idea book called World of Memories that was like people submitting pages from all over the world. All right, next. So I'm gonna do a little layering the clouds. I thought maybe here, but actually up makes more sense for clouds. You don't want clouds to be low on the page unless they're all over. Okay, so they're gonna go up here. And then we're gonna have some cut aparts. So I have my cut apart, Vicky's cut apart, and the Simple Stories cut apart. We got cut aparts aplenty. So let's take this blue. Definitely need one that's going to be okay to write on. Oh, and I wanted some red. Let's have this one. All right. And then from here, I like this one. I didn't want to go heavy into the pink was my plan, but I also might look at the Sunshine and Cloud one. Oh, that top line cutting was terrible, Shimelle. Go back and fix that. Okay, and then from here, oh, I've got red here. Can I have this red? Oh, that's a very good question, Rebecca. How old is old for a raven? "10 to 15 years. Except you Aussies have long-lived ones. Australian ravens they live to be 22. Yeah. Oh, so that's how long they would live in the wild. They're a bit more protected at the tower, so the tower ravens quite often live to beyond 20. There we go. Learn something new every day. All right, where was I? And I think these labels might come in really handy today. So let's go ahead and come down to those. Oh my goodness, I should have prepped a fan for my desk. I've just remembered it was this kind of weather last year when the camera overheated. Was anybody here for that live stream? And we ended up having an ice pack on top of the camera to keep it going. Right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. All right, so we're gonna go up to this corner. I'm so excited to get to the end of this refill. Are we done yet? It's just not my favorite one ever. I'm gonna go kind of here so that I'm playing with this edge. And then take the horizontal one down to this corner. So we're starting with two larger pieces coming in from the outsides. So same thing here. And the grid paper in the background is super handy because then I can make sure everything's nice and straight. Then now, see how I've got a horizontal and a vertical? Let's swap that around. So we're going to look at where things can go. Hole punch. I'm going to layer that over the top here. They're going in there. Now, two larger areas of embellishment coming in this way. Smaller pieces here. But I think take the vertical above that and vice versa. Okay. So we have something coming in from each side, and all of them are going to have this amount of, like, don't go all the way up to the edge, although you could. But I'm going to go halfway into that border. Like that. Making sense of where we're going? Nikki says it freaks her out when you put a page together without the photo. Why? Let's delve into why. It's paper. And I can kind of imagine where it's going to go. I know where I'm going to be able to put pictures, but also I like getting it to a point where it doesn't have any pictures so that we could look at different options. Because then that makes you able to create more fluently, a bit more independently. Caffeine's like, it's interesting that you start with the embellishments. Guys, this is what we do on Monday. It's starting points on Monday. I've been doing this since the start of the year, and it's a return to an old series that I used to do ages ago. So I'd build the background and then take a picture, and then the next week you'd see the finished version because it was before I did so many videos. And then in that week, everybody could upload how they finished it. So that's why I always wanted to show you, like, get it to this point and then make it work with your photos so that you don't ever look at my layout and go, oh, I can't do that because I don't have two 4x6 today. I can't do that because no, there's never a I can't do that. And I want to show you as many ways as possible to shut up that voice that says I can't do that, because you can totally do that. You just got to be able to mix and match things around. So you can totally do that. Right, so I'm going to pop up the top cloud. Yeah. And you can totally do that. Aunt Caffeine's like, I guess I just don't do Mondays very much. She doesn't do Mondays. Yep, that's the whole idea, that we build the background before we put the photos on, and then sometimes I have to move things around a little bit once I get the pictures into play, but only small changes. Right, let's get these labels going. Because we have 4 areas of embellishment, we have 4 of these labels. So take something, because so far they all have different things, right? So let's take something that can make everything consistent and put the same thing all the way across, one in each place. So what I'm going to do is cut 4 rectangles. I know I'm leaving those corners, because if I cut those corners with scissors, it's not joyful. That inside corner curve, inside curve is my least favorite thing to cut. And I don't like how it curls the paper, but it's way easier to do with the hole punch. Georgia fell asleep on our lunch break and then started watching the live, and I lulled her to sleep. I can tell you absolutely 0 members of my household would be lulled to sleep by my voice. They would be more of the lines of, shut up, woman, we want to sleep. But I'm always happy to hear that I could be helpful for someone else. What's the background paper? The blue and the cream are both from the background pack that we used from Vicky B's Flower Emporium collection with 49 Market. Everything's linked in that June supply list, but it's in the background paper pack. Leisha says, it freaks her out when scrapbookers just start sticking things down. Oh no, I have to spend forever moving everything around 100 times, then take a photo, then take everything off, then use the glue. Right, Leisha, what kind of glue do you use? Because that's a big part of it. Yeah? Right. Nothing on my page is immovable while I'm still working on it. Repositionable adhesives. This is so much easier for inside curves. So much nicer. Repositionable adhesive takes a while to bond. So it won't fall off later, but while you're working with it, you've got some time so that you can move it around. Auntie Caffeine doesn't do rub-ons because once they're down, they're down. That's true. Rub-ons, they're stuck. If you decide you don't like them, you got to put a layer over the top. And Sophia is trusting the process because this is not an odd number of things. It's an even number of things. Totally is. Totally is. We can do it. We can do it. But you'll see there'll be odd numbers of things in the even number of groups. Right. So each section is going to get one of these. These are from the Vicky B Cut Apart, which is not 49 Market, it's American Crafts. Right. What else are we going to put with each one? I wanted this camera, which is a nice color match to that one. So let's put that with this. That works nicely. Bring that blue around. This is the die cut pack from Live the Dream. We got the metallic foil going, so I might as well just embrace the multicolored foil. Multicolored foil is a bit much for me. Okay, but I got 3 of those. I realized, I thought I dropped ink on this. I didn't, it's foil. I'm just going to, I know it's a mistake. I'm just gonna run with it anyway. All right, so we've got all of those. I'm not sure if I have room for this one, but it's an idea. Okay. I think we run that along there. We get this tiny sliver of red that I couldn't see until I put it against the blue. All right. Oh, somebody asked if WB was going straight into another show. The Willy Wonka thing is his school production. So, no, not going straight into another job just yet. Even if he was, I couldn't tell you. You know how this works by now. And then let's make mix this floral in here. Yeah. Oh, I wanted the camera here. No, I can put the camera with this one. Okay, camera there, camera there. I need aqua here then. Okay. These two are going to be bigger. These two are going to be smaller. Kelly says, using the hole punch is a game changer. You can use it on the ticket stub ones too, where it's a semicircle on the end. This is just a quarter circle, but those use a semicircle. I think I'm going to cover up part of the hand. Am I? I'm not. Go that way. Okay, Leisha says she uses wet glue because she lives in Australia, and yes, it falls off later, like an hour later, and it drives me nuts. Okay. Australian friends, it's time for you to pipe up in both the live chat and the comments later. You know your climate. What is the best adhesive for your climate? Because I 100% will tell you, don't judge adhesives by advertising campaigns, judge them by climate. Because I used my favorite adhesive in the American Crafts office in Utah one day, and it fell apart, and they went, "We always wondered why you liked that one." And I said, "Because where I live, this one sticks, and the one that you like here falls off." So yeah, it takes research. It takes trial and error. I want to know what you Aussies are using other than wet glue, because if wet glue is causing you the extra hassle of having to get everything in the right place and then build the puzzle back together, which honestly would take a lot of joy out for me. If it does give you joy, then fine. But if the fact that it's then falling apart an hour later tells me this is not the best combination for you. Right, I am sick of this one. It's almost the end. I'm abandoning it because I'm unhappy. And if the next one is the same way, I'm gonna be so sad. But we're gonna try. Okay, so far so good. That was so much better. Okay, label across there. The labels have all gone to the right-hand edge of the cards. It's kind of funny, but absolutely fine. All right, I think that goes there. Like the clouds are speaking. Because it's not there. No, it's not right there. It's here. Yep. Sophia says she has years of professional Shimelle watching. Oh, you're adorable. We'll line up this with that. Okay. Now let's see about these stars. I'm not sure. I wish I had them smaller. They're too big. Yeah, they're too big. I need little things. Little things. All right. I think this one isn't going to fit the sentiment of the page anyway. This one, however, could work. Could pop that here. Oh, also, I wonder if I have one that's not messed up, because I have a spare pack of these. I'm not loving it though. I like that a lot better. It needed a gap. Okay. Right, but let me, I mean, look, I might have one in a really easy to get to place. If not, I will just swap it later. But I think everything for this collection is right here. But I am wrong. Okay, never mind. Nope, I'll swap it out later. That was all the flat things, but not anything that came in a pack. Okay. So we'll put this one here, and I'll switch it for one that doesn't have a foiling mistake later. No, you're good, Leisha. I understand entirely. Climates are a funny old thing. But yeah, you're not being impossible. I just want to find you a way to get more joy from it and less stress. That's all. Krista says she finally made it live. Hello, Krista. You love the new line. Thank you. What is my favorite? Oh my goodness. Her favorite is still Never Grow Up. Never Grow Up is not my favorite, but it's okay. This line is a close second. I don't really have favorites, but Never Grow Up is not my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I like different things about each one. There's a certain amount of main character energy that makes me very, very happy. If I had to choose a favorite, it would probably be like main character energy, Sparkle City, Starshine. But this is up there. I like how this came out. Yeah. Lizzie suggests CM double-sided tape and the repositionable one too. There you go. Jade in Perth used Crafter Choice double-sided tape from Spotlight and the Tombow multi-matte glue if she needed something wet. So maybe these will help. Right. Okay, we want just a little bit more embellishment, and then we're going to do that as the starting point. So we need some confetti. We need some small pieces here. Oh, I'm going to use a tiny punch. Tanya loves Head in the Clouds. Oh, I really do love Head in the Clouds. I didn't get to use nearly as much of it because I didn't get as much of it, and that forever makes me sad. Yeah. Right, I'm going to use a Mickey punch, but you can just sub in anything, okay? It does not have to be Mickey Mouse. But I don't know if you noticed, I like Mickey Mouse. So if it fits, I'm going to use it. Also, use the things you buy, right? Or have. I can't remember if this is one Kelly sent me or if I bought this one. My Disney punches are a bit of a mix. But anyway, use what you have. Use what you buy. All of it. So I want to bring red into these two. To bring aqua into this one. Or that one. Possibly both. I need some red. I need some aqua. I need some yellow. Okay, so let's punch in those colors. Let's see what we got. It's pink. The aqua is cookies. Oh. All right, where's the smallest one? There. Those are my aquas, see? So how many Mickeys can I get into the cloud? Hattie loves Field Trip and could use it over and over again. I like Field Trip too. The only thing that's funny about Field Trip is that in my head it has a different name because of course it's Museum Mondays. Field Trip was Amy's thing. I'm not sure why. He ended up going, nope, we're going to use that name over here. Who knows? Because trivia, we don't call them field trips here, so that's kind of funny, right? I just saw it and then I lost where it was. Tanya. Tanya has plenty of head in the clouds. No, I'm not taking your stash. But thank you very, very much for thinking of me. That's very, very kind. But yeah, I'm not taking your stash. You use it, please, and make me proud. Right. The cloud pattern has a gorgeous yellow B-side, but I'm not chopping into that just for that when I have other yellow scraps. So we're going to use this other yellow, I think. Sophia thinks of it as the museum collection. Yep. Okay, and what else did I need? Red, which I think I need to grab a scrap of something because I don't really have a lot of red left in the kit. I've got a scrap here. All right. So remember, you can use a different shape. It does not need to be Mickey heads, okay? Hearts, stars, whatever fits your scheme. And this could all be enamel instead of punched pieces. Also, if you want to do more with your punches, I got a class on that. Yeah. Okay. Ink these, and then we will do some confetti gluing. Auntie Caffeine says, do I dare punch the side of my page like I feel I want to? What if I hate it? It's paper. Just punch it. Punch the paper. It's like cut the paper, but more decorative. Oh, Elaine says it's the Dinosaurs in Space collection. Yeah, that's also field trip. And if I had to design a collection at Pickup right now, it would be trains in space. I still need to make that t-shirt for like next week. So I might be doodling that one tonight. It needs 3D letters for space, and 3D letters take me forever, which is why I've been putting it off. But that is Starlight Express, Trains in Space. New cast, I saw them Friday. New adults. So that was exciting. He met them right before the show. Wild. Yeah. But they sound good. Great voices. Yeah. All right. That was a lot of inking. Let's go. Okay. Color balance. We needed aqua down here. But I don't like the aqua right next to that flower, so I'm going to go red here. Okay. Too big. Okay, the big size is too big. Oop. So I just want to do the big trio with the two larger things, I think. And then just a little bit with these. Right, so we go like that, which gives me these left over if I need more confetti Mickey heads later. And which yellow is the best match here? I'm gonna go cream. Okay, so see how the confetti went to the open air? It's on the blue. The enamel dots are not going to be on the open air. They're going inside. So find places to overlap things that are already here. Okay. All right, so that plus some gold is, oh, sorry, I went down low off the screen. Sorry. That's the start. Once we put this mist on, then we can do that. It's all right, Annalise. We'll see you later. Now, I know I've got the rainbow holographic foil, so you might think, no, more gold. That's, yeah, and that's okay. But I like the gold on the navy, so. I gotta see what is going on with this, though. It has started only flicking in straight lines, and I don't love it. It's being a lot less predictable. Okay. But that's it. That's the starting point. Is there anywhere else that I got Maleficent all inky? Okay. Okay, so tiny earthquake while I screenshot that. Boop. Okay. Oh, yeah, phone's about to overheat. Great. Okay, so now photos. So all I did to make these a little bit smaller is that I used the frame feature. Bend and snap. That's better. I didn't want to bend it first. And yeah, I used the frame feature that I normally go 2 sliders along in the Selfie app to get the normal frame that I use, but I wanted these just a tiny bit smaller. So I think I went 3 or 4, and then I had to go into each picture and make them fit again, because when you add the frame, it doesn't shrink your photo. It adds the frame over the top. And Caffeine doesn't want me to put a photo on this now. I'm going to. 2 little ones. Okay. Now, things you could do with this. You could do lots of tiny photos. You got a photo strip type. You could do strips here. You could do strips across here and across there. Lots of little photos. So actually, even though there's loads of paper room or paper stuff already on it that you don't want to put photos over the top, if you are happy to print things small, you could actually still get a lot onto this page. But if you don't want to do that, it's okay too. So I've got these 2 photos, and I'm going to pop them in here. And they go in that order. So, oh, interestingly, oh no, it did. I thought I'd cropped it so you could see what was at the top of the board. I did. It's just in that shot. Okay. So this is the after. This one is going to tuck right underneath. And then this one needs more space on the right-hand side to be understandable, so we leave more of that one visible. Are you stuck now? I need more glue up here. Yes, but let's have a look at where you could put more photos. So actually I could do 3. If I'm happy to overlap like this, I could do 3 across here. Ding, ding, ding. So I could get another one in there. If I didn't have this flower here, I could put another photo here. If I wanted to use 4x6, I think it would be problematic with a portrait, but it's not impossible with a landscape. That would only be a tiny smidge taller than this. So it would just go across here. So you could have one 4x6 landscape here and one 4x6 landscape here. It could still work. Yeah? Okay, but it needs, the journaling can go in here, but it needs some sort of title work. So let's figure out what that's going to be, shall we? We have got, I don't want to use my silvery because I've already got gold and multicolored foil. I'm not adding another kind of foil. But I've got these in solid colors, and I've got our pack of stuff. I wonder about these. Let's find the one that says perfect, because that's also red. I'd like to put just perfect, but I don't have that as a word in here, so I'm going to have to use different letter stickers, but I can use the perfect. So where's my pen to mark that off? Sophia says, oh, genius. So now it's like a photo mat cluster with 3 embellishment clusters around it. Yep, trust the process. It's there, it's there. Krista would like to hear from anybody who prints digital kits because she's just got a new printer and wants to do that. So if you have any advice for her, go for it. And Sophia says, oh, it adds the frame on top. Why? Yeah, I don't know. And of course, I didn't realize the first time I did it and then was like, I'm sure I took this photo differently. Yeah. Oh, this was looking like it said "fweet" instead of perfect. I promise, it says perfect. But I need to find some letters that would work to spell out the word just. So let's see what we got. I was actually thinking, what about the light blue? I don't know that I have the right letters. The light blue would be nice. Let's see what we got. Oh, what about these? What about these? J, U. There's no S. It would be so perfect if it had an S. There's no S. How dare past me spell words with S's. Oh, I've got the light blue glitter. That might be the best bet. Oh, it is getting very hot in my studio. Right, let's try the blue glitter. There's an S. There's a T. Oh my goodness, there's no U. You're kidding me. There were only 2 U's on the sheet. Okay, hold on. I think I might have another sheet of this. Can I reach there? It's on top of my cupboard. Oh, it's the kind of reaching it where you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. 1 inch this way, 1 inch that way, but I got it. I got it. Okay. This is embarrassing. So this has, oh goodness, a very dusty stash of Disney things that I bought on Closeout and have multiples of. But guess what? I don't even just have 1 extra. I have 2. I'm not Frankensteining, no. What else is in here? Also, one of these. And one of these. In case anyone fancies a random flip through of an old mini book. Let me know if you want to see inside either of those. And we can open them up and be surprised together because I don't remember what photos are in. Right. These. So they were from Poundland. Were they made specifically for Poundland? I think so. W&O products. Yeah. I think it was made for closeout stores. And I've had them a long time. Right, let me put this on and then we'll have a little flip through. Boop, boop, boop. Always up for random flip through, you're funny. So that coffee cup album was a project that Vilna Furstenberg started doing when I was a garden girl, and then we all kind of made little coffee cup albums, and they're just adorable. This is just perfect. That's just adorable. At least I remember them being adorable. I made a couple of them, and one was with Vilna's kit, and one was just stuff I put together, so I'm not sure which one this is. We'll have a look. Oh, why did I take the S from there? It was the U I needed from here. But it's okay. The spacing's great. Then we have this blue glitter that's nowhere else. The centers of the O's are Mickey heads. So we're going to take a Mickey head there. And one there. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Right. Let's flip through. I'll give you a little zoom in here. Na, 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 na. Different kind of way to scrap than our usual composition. Right. Earthquake coming up. So that I can, make Georgia happy and remember to put something on the Facebook group. All right. Let's see what we got. So it has, I used to love doing this. I still love this look. I should do a month of doing this. So I would take just all random pieces that were on my desk that were like extras from other projects, stack them all up and sew each one as I went, so I couldn't fuss and not commit. So I'd pick this and put a sticker on it and sew it. Next piece, sticker on it, sew it, over and over and over until it basically got too tall to sew. Yeah. So there's like fabric here, some tulle, lots of pretty ribbons. Yeah, this is the one with printables from Vilna. So I did used to digi-print stuff, but I don't have this printer anymore. So this says it's going to be pictures of Greenwich Park. So different kind of blossoms in our park. So the inside pages are mostly the printables plus some photos and a tiny bit of embellishment. I've also sprayed the life out of it with glimmer and mist. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, I was surprised I lasted that long when that box that I pulled down was so dusty, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, this is pre-child because I used to go to the park super early in the morning. That was definitely before I had another human to take care of. Cherry blossoms. Yeah, March 2010. That's even before backpacking and all of that. And then it would tie here on the side with an actual used cup from Starbucks. So that's the first one. Oh yes, I will probably write on the labels and all over that. Yeah. Then this one. So this looks like it used scenic root and Handley screen prints, and either Love Elsie products or an Elsie. She used to do these little things you could order in the mail. I think it's that, because this doesn't look like it's from KI Memories. This looks like it was from one of the kits she did. 7 Gypsies stickers. This is just a bit of cardboard and acrylic paint. And yes, this is an album featuring pictures of my feet all over the world. They're in shoes, don't worry. Yeah, so this was from an Elsie Peter Pan themed kit that you could get in the post. Little Prima paper flowers. Big boots that I used to wear. Hey, and look, these epoxies are okay. No problems. Hey, hey. Wore Converse then, wear Converse now. A lot of Converse. This pair lasted forever. They don't make them like that. I don't know why. Oh, they're not all in shoes. There's one that's barefoot on the beach. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely the Peter Pan kit. Mermaids, crocodiles. I'm back in shoes, don't worry. 7 Gypsies and little screen print. Oh, I loved this handbag. And hello, fashion returns. When I first met the Adhesive Avenger, everything was flared or boot cut. And then everything went skinny. And now all the different wide leg options are back. What shoes? Oh, I remember what shoes those are. Okay. Clearly I needed a scrapbook to remember. Anything that I do about shoes has this pair of shoes. I could still wear these. That's the first thing I ever bought with it was my 2 first paychecks at the Dairy Queen. So I was 14 when I bought them, and they cost $135. And everybody was like, can't believe you're spending so much on a pair of shoes. But I have been wearing them since 1994. Yeah, 1994. They are very muddy at a festival there. That must be coming home from the festival. Pink ducks. The 2 different pairs of shoes I wore on my wedding. Silver tap shoes from when I was a little girl. More Prima paper flowers, and I would almost always put a brad in the middle. Those are Elsie's feet and my feet. That was our engagement photo. That's when we went skiing. That's the Arc de Triomphe. But here, have a look at my shoes. Yeah, they're Doc's 135-pound first purchase ever. Yeah, they're still going strong. There we go. Made in September 2008 with thanks to Julie Kirk. So she must have told me to do it or commissioned me to do it or something. Inspired me in some way, Julie. Do you remember? Why did we make books about our feet? But I don't regret it. It's super cute. Okay, so that was a little random flip through of mini books and a layout to go with it. So it's not about feet. So let's just have a little flip of everything we've made with the June supplies so far. So that would be, I'll put them in order that we made them so that if you want to find a video in the playlist, that will be possible. Oh, is that what I meant to do? No, I tried to put them in the right order, and I did not do that. That one's going there. And then this one is going, no, don't ruin anything, Shimelle. The order is not that important. Okay, here we go. So, oh, George is like, more mini books. I don't do mini books because they just sit up there and get dusty. Yeah. Okay. So we've got in the playlist, you shall find this starting point. This is not in the right order. Then this one, I think. And then this one. Journaling's going to go on here. Then this one, which went next to the very first page. And this one today. So there we are. That's what we've done with June so far. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. I really do appreciate you coming to spend some time with me. And if you enjoyed this video, it would be fabulous if you gave it a thumbs up. That'd be super duper awesome. I'll be live again here Friday at 10 a.m. and I hope you have a wonderful week. See you very soon.